Hi everyone. This video we are going to discuss about the topic liberalization. Liberalization refers to relaxation of the previous government restriction, usually in areas of social and economic policies. What is liberalization? It happens to be in the form of relaxation of the previous government restrictions. What all the government restricted for the business? What all the restrictions given by the government for doing a business or for running the company, for running the manufacturing sector, all these things has been relaxed due to liberalization. Liberal means giving freedom for the business people, giving freedom for the company people, those who want to run the company. Thus, when government liberalizes trade, it means it has removed the tariff, what we call them as an interest, that tariff. And how it means it has removed the tariff, and subsidies, what are the subsidies given by the government for the everything has been removed, and other restrictions on the flow of goods and services between countries. Before liberalization, if anybody want to do the business with different countries by crossing the boundaries, lot of restrictions has been providing by the home country. Tariff interest rate has been increased. Subsidies, what are the subsidies they are given, they will ready to give, but at the same time we have to pay for the amount, and number of rules and regulations we have to follow when we want to do the business from one country to the another country. After the liberalization came, all these restrictions has been withdrawn by the government. That means what? We can think whatever the business we want to do with the other country, we can do. Nobody will question you, but there should be some limit for that. Only for the legal business we can do with the other countries. If you want to open a manufacturing sector in some other country, it is 100% possible. If any country want to make a manufacturing sector in your country, it is also possible. So, if you want to extend the wings to the any countries in all over the world, it is 100% possible through the liberalization. Then the next one, what we discuss about this, after this definition of the liberalization, we are going to talk about the reasons for implementing the LPG. What is the major reasons for implementing the liberalization, privatization and globalization in a country? Various distortions like poor technological development, shortage of foreign exchanges, imprudent of borrowings from abroad, mismanagement of the foreign exchange resources, all these things has been changed. Before LPG, before liberalization, privatization and globalization, all the countries are facing problems for developing the technology, because what all the technology which was using by the country, what all the technology is using by the neighboring countries, it is not possible to get that. After the LPG only, even the technology is also parallelly developed, and foreign exchanges is also happen. If our country, if your country, what we call them as an rupees or whatever the money value, when you do the business with other country, your that is that what we call them as an the value of the money will be vary. That will always help to develop the economy of the country. The second point, low foreign exchange reserves, burden of national debt, debt in the sense what we call them as an borrowings, burden of national debt. We don't want to worry about the national debt, and inflation. Because of the inflation also it will happen. Then when we talk about the major reasons, what we think about the liberalization in the sense, the major things what we have to see in this particular topic, the economic liberalization in India, I am telling about only India, but based upon your country it will change. A lot of things has been changed by the country of Indian country by the political department people. What is the exact meaning? Liberalization of the economy means to free it from the direct or physical controls imposed by the government. Economic reforms were based on the assumption that market forces could guide the economy in a more effective manner than government control. Before liberalization, government restricted lot of things for doing a business, but now government has giving a 100% freedom for the business people to run any types of business. I can give the examples here in the third point. Underdeveloped countries like Korea, Thailand and Singapore are one of the major examples. After liberalization, their economy has been 100% improved. So only because of the liberalization it was happened. Then what made India to liberalize? I am talking about our country. Based upon your country, you can change. A balance of payment. The payment balance has been pushed to the country to near the bankruptcy, and the rupee value is also increased, and the central bank and refused new credit has been also changed. What are the reforms taken during liberalization? Because of the liberalization, importing technology is improved. What all the technology is using by the other countries, we are also possible to get the technology, and we can do our production using that technology. So obviously what will happen, the technology of the country is also rapidly increased. Then interest rate is also gradually decreased because of doing more number of foreign transport, foreign exchange goods. And the freedom for expansion and production is also happens to be changed because of the reforms which was taken by the liberalization. And the expansion is also happen, and the industrial licensing is also gradually increased because of the liberalization process. Then the next one, we are going to talk about the major concepts, what we call them as the conclusion mainly on the applications based upon the liberalization. What are the various things, arguments in against of the liberalization? It gives less importance to the agriculture. Mainly agriculture is not possible to booming, because most of the countries which is having high very good water irrigations, they are doing 100% agriculture production. Examples we can take in the Asian continent, India is doing the excellent business because of the agriculture, and giving pressure by IMF, International Monetary Fund, and even by the World Bank also. And one more argument against the liberalization is more depending on the foreign debt also, the borrowings of the money from the World Bank, we are supposed to pay more interest rate for that. And unemployment problems will also gradually increased. People are graduated, not able to get a proper job because of the liberalization. Somewhat they are giving the major disadvantages. What are the things, arguments in the favor of the liberalization? It increases the rate of the economic growth. Economic growth gradually increases. What I told about the globalization, the same examples I can give it here. Due to liberalize, government has given a freedom for the restrictions for the business people, and increase in the competitiveness of the industrial sector also, reduction in the poverty and inequality, fall in fiscal deficit, control on prices, decline in deficit of bill of processing, increase in efficiency also. Clear? So this we call them as a major concept, what we call them as an arguments in the favor of the liberalization. When we come to the conclusion, the new industrial policy 1991 certainly differs significantly from the earlier philosophies, approaches. Example, when we go for the scope of the public sector are expanded by reserving more number of industries for the public sector people. Previously only private people own the company. Now because of the liberalization, even the money people, those who are normal people can able to be run a small business and getting a very good return on the investment. The scope has been reduced drastically by reducing the number of industries reserved for the public sector. Large number of changes can also be noticed because of the new policy. This is the conclusion which was given by this particular one. Clear? So I hope you enjoy this session. We will see you in the next video with another good topic. You are supposed to follow the subscribe my channel and get the more videos like this. Thank you very much. We will meet you in another video. If you have any doubt, please post your doubt through the comments. I will